Welcome back to Movie Global Recapped. The royal advisor takes all three to a hidden place of Chola's. Lavanya meets her father, but he seems mad and even started to attack her. It seems that the Cholas were living for centuries hiding under a huge cave, but in chaos and hunger, as there wasn't any rainfall for past several years. Chola's king arrives after a hunt and brings food envoy for his people. Women welcomes him with dance. As most people were very hungry, they started to jump and attack the envoy for food. On seeing this, king pushes them away and attacks back. He even kills an old man who runs fast towards the food. One mother from crowd asks king to spare some food as her children are hungry. King shows mercy on her and leaves her with food. Meanwhile, Ravi and his team arrived at the ruined village. But a guy rotates a wheel, which makes the village to be buried inside. Ravi was astonished to see the entire village being drowned with sand. Inside the cave, king and his men tries to get reason for Muthu's tiger tattoo. When a guard tries to cut Muthu, he was killed by a lightning. Royal advisor asks Oman on this. He found out that among three recent captives, one is from Cholas and one is from Pandyas. And it was suggested to burn them all. All three were dragged and chained to a rock to set fire. Lavanya explains Muthu that these people are Cholas and they are trying to burn them. Scared, Muthu begs to leave them. Anitha meanwhile chants some mantras and stops royal advisor. She breaks the chain and shows a tiger tattoo jumping downwards on her back. She then throws fire stick and makes a picture of a Chola king and claims her as a messenger from their homeland. People were suspicious at first, but agrees with Anitha later as they were expecting a messenger for centuries. Anitha orders them to take away Muthu and Lavanya. And turns around and remembers a flashback. Actually, Anitha was not from Cholas, but she is from Pandyas. Also, Ravi and Minister are from Pandya heritage. She was taught about the history of Cholas, ruthlessly killing their people, and stole their goddess's statue. She prepared herself all her life to avenge for their people and retrieve their goddess's statue. At night, Anitha meets King and deceives him to return back to homeland and take back his crown. King was skeptical at first and beats her brutally. He says that prophecy about messenger is not completed yet. The prophecy is that once the messenger arrives, he will be beaten up brutally, but accepted later when there is a rainfall. King claims none of this prophecy was completed. But Anitha deceives him again that people in homeland are eager to see their king back. King agrees with Anitha. While returning from King's chamber, Anitha finds Pandya's stolen goddess statue. She hugs the statue and expresses her emotion for their goddesses. King informs about leaving the place to his people. Crowd asks if all prophecies are true. King replies to them that he can travel alone to homeland. And if everything is fine, then he'll return to pick them up. People apologize for doubting King's decision. One old guy volunteers himself to sacrifice for a safe journey. Next day, King set up tournaments similar to Gladiator with the prisoners. All were released in the field. Lavanya finds her father and shouts at Muthu to take care on him. A gigantic guy throws a huge stone and tries to kill them. Muthu was scared on seeing this. He saves Lavanya's father from couple of attacks, but apparently gives up on seeing no escape from the giant. A boy from crowd taunts and insults Muthu. Suddenly, Muthu sees different visions and gets hallucinated. He dodges all attacks from the giant and moves towards him. He manages to kill him and gains trust from king and people as a hero. Anitha hypnotizes a girl and sends her to give a message to Ravi, who is wandering outside still. After receiving the message, Ravi contacts his team to send more reinforcements. People were dancing and enjoying the night as they suppose to leave tomorrow to their homeland. While they rejoice, Anitha poisons their water source and tries to kill the royal advisor. But he manages to still survive. Reinforcements arrived near to the mountains as well. Next morning, King finds out Anitha deceived him as she runs to military camp. King was broken down as he was betrayed and starts to cut his throat. But the people stops him and pushes the knife away. Muthu was also feeling bad for the people and starts to cry. People thinks Muthu is also somehow responsible for this and starts to trash him. When Muthu saw King's son trying to cut his throat, despite of pain, he stops the boy and hugs him. It starts to rain inside the cave after a long time. King relates these incidents with the prophecy paintings one by one. All realizes that Muthu is the true messenger they weren't aware of. Suddenly, royal advisor comes near to Muthu and places his hand on his head. He transfers all his wisdom and enlightens Muthu's mind. All stands in rain bowing Muthu as he is the one who can save them. Anitha, Ravi, and Minister wears traditional vests and prepares for the fight with Cholas. At dawn, all assembles outside to fight. King orders to shoot arrows, but armed military laughs at them. King again orders to shoot, but this time with rocks. Army shattered a bit and runs back to take cover. After reaching safe point, Ravi pulls back the army and assembles them back. But people at the cliff fell one by one after drinking poisonous water. Anitha smirks at this. King was shocked, and with no choice, he charges the army with all his men. Army fires at them, but Muthu and his men manages to block some bullets and advance forward. After some casualties, Muthu reaches in close combat with army. They slashes everyone near their sword. Marines try to shoot, but close combat gives Chola's upper hand. Muthu and Anitha faces each other and fights with all their strength. Marines surround the Cholas and tries to kill them with rapid fire. But Cholas already had a plan to crawl through the sands and kill them from rear. On seeing more casualties, Ravi orders to throw grenades. Officer was not agreeing at first, as it will kill their men as well. But Ravi shouts at him to throw them anyways. Cholas were shattered and couldn't able to fight against grenades. Remaining men groups with King and Muthu and shields them. King rhetorically asks Muthu, "Why didn't you inform about this grenades? Do you think this would scare us?" And laughs along with his men. Marines kills everyone at the field and captures King and Muthu. Anitha and Ravi retrieves their goddess statue. Marines took all remaining people as captives and taken them to the shore. At night, Marines starts to harass people and also beats them brutally. King tries to fight back but no use, as he is chained completely. Muthu signals Lavanya to unchain King secretly. Lavanya slowly releases King. Instead of running away, King crawls towards the sea and gets hallucinated with a vision of a ship coming from their homeland to save them. After the vision, King falls down and with tears in his eyes King passes away. King's son saw this and runs away from the Marines. All rushes to catch him. On seeing this diversion, people takes their king and walks into the sea. With their prayers to God and King, all submerge into the sea, along with their king, one by one. Meanwhile, Lavanya unties Muthu and releases him. Anitha woke up and finds out both Muthu and Prince were escaped. Marines were still searching, but Muthu finds the prince and takes him to the woods. At one point, Muthu and Prince were surrounded. Muthu casts a spell and diverts them. Once army left the place, he comes out from dark. With the Chola's prince in his hands, he travels further towards the forest. This ends the movie with caption saying, "Chola's journey continues." Thanks for watching, friends. If you liked the video, please show your support by pressing like and subscribe and sharing it to your friends. It's absolutely free. Please let me know for any improvements in comments section. See you in next video. Stay home, stay safe. Peace.